Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And I'm back after a week off. So, welcome to Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam Black Swamp Medium. It is so good to see you all again. Um, we're going to dive into some things, of course, like I always do, right? but yeah, super excited to finally be back on the air again. Hey, Dinah. Good morning, Nicole. Tina. Yes, yes. Like I said, it's great to be back. Thank you so much for good morning, Sharon. And yeah, thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for you know, letting me have a week off, even though I was busy. So hello, Tanya. Hello, Father. So yeah, it's really cool. So I wanted to kind of bring you guys up to, what went on last week. There's a little bit I'm going to go out of order on purpose because I do want to do some things a certain way. So good morning, Carmen. Good morning, Bonnie. And yeah, I wanted to kind of talk about the old mill Parafest 8 and just kind of share some of that highlights and things. And if you were there, I know like Dinah was there, my father was there. If you guys want to, put some stuff in there. Good morning, Jeff. There's anything you want to put in the comments, like your personal thoughts on the, um, how the event went in your eyes. That's awesome. Don't worry. I will keep it all private. Don't worry. I won't share any event information. Hey, Shannon. Good morning. Coffee. Cheers to you. So, but yeah, we had, so it was cool, really cool because we had, Parafest, Old Mill Parafest 8, the last year, obviously, pandemic made it only happen virtually, but, we still had something. And then it was really cool to, kind of get back into the flow of things. I mean, I think that's, part of what we're all hoping to, continue to achieve. And as far as moving forward, the fact of just getting around and seeing each other. And I said it several times throughout the day because I do the MC work as well, and it's just so great to see people face to face again and see people. I haven't seen in a while, but even then, getting to see some people like Dinah, I got to meet her in person for the first time. So moments like that is it's like that's it. That's that's the way it's supposed to be, and so I can't help but be super thankful for those that did make it out there, even though there's tons of them that aren't going to be watching this, but there is a lot that did make it. And we had a good time. Everybody had a good time. Sometimes most people, when you're running an event like that, there's things going on behind the scenes. And you know shockingly, there really wasn't a whole lot. And even after really technically being a you know uh last time we had one was in 2019, in person. There's always little things going on behind the scenes, but from what I was aware of, there really wasn't. Everything kind of ran smooth, which is always a plus. you know yeah, we don't want that extra stress, trying to keep it moving forward and things like that. But we did pretty good. I mean, there was a couple odd things. We had one of the speakers got really delayed and couldn't make it for his time slot, so we just shifted speakers around, and those that were there really did great as far as accommodating and moving, and that was fantastic. So it was great. um yeah. Yep. Thank you. Yep. My dad, great time at the fest. Sorry people missed it. Yep, for sure. And Dinah, I was able to introduce my granddaughter to the weird side and friends. Yeah, it is true. It is true. And when you listen to John Tenney, who was one of our speakers, and even how I introduced him, because one of my favorite things is that is he's always talked about as being weird. And we all weird, because really weird is actually a good thing. We're going after um, our hopes and dreams and things, and so if that makes us weird, so be it, because we got to be weird every day. So yeah, it was great. And I even know, because like I said, I'm going to jump around a little bit, but but Dinah's granddaughter, I missed it. I saw the photos afterwards because I was talking to Margaret, who probably will jump in here shortly. I was I missed the part, but it was really neat to see uh, the photos when her daughter or granddaughter was hanging out with, well, Christopher St. Booth. They put a, his fur coat on, and were, really, making her look, all, fabulous and things. And so the photos were great. And I know she, you could just tell in the photos that, she was having a good time. And Dinah herself was writing in some of the posts, over the couple days afterwards. And she said that, this was some of the best laughter she's had in years. And that's, some of the things that's what's great about, these type of events. Might not be the biggest one in the world, and might not be the smallest, but the fact of being able to hang out and hear some great, presenters and speakers, and hear what they have to share, and then yet get to meet people and just be around like-minded people for the most part, and that's, what's really cool. Whether you, uh, you know, maybe you won't ever talk to that person again that you met, but at the same time, you just got to share some time with people, and that's what it's all about. So, uh, that's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, she in the Dinah saying she had she had his sunglasses on as well. You know, so, uh, I've met Scully many times, in previous events, so, I typically just got let Scully do his thing, because he's been around for several years, good 4 or 5 years, I believe. I mean, actually would have to correct me on that, but I mean, I've known she's been bringing him around for years, so, Scully's pretty cool. It's like one of a lot of times that's, her travel companion, because not all the time, like at least the last couple, at least this year, I know, Exy's wife, Exy's husband, has brought her husband Steve along with this, so that was always kind of cool, to see Steve and him hanging out, but yeah, so I mean, so other than that, well, Scully's a, uh, almost pretty much a full size skeleton, and she'll put, she sells shirts, and she'll have, one of her shirts on them, and it's kind of like her mascot in a way. So uh, it's it's kind of cool. I mean, but like I said, it's always been a travel buddy. It'll sit in the passenger seat when she's driving somewhere, especially if it's just her and her husband's not with her. But Scully's pretty cool. but but yeah, I mean, but like I said, from our standpoint, I mean, it went really well. Had a great time. Like I said, just, getting to see people in person again. Like I said, I can't stress that enough. And we just had so much fun, a lot of laughter, and just being together, and so, but a lot of great presentations. I mean, geez, it's hard to really pick one over the other because everybody has uh, the things that, what, whether it was something you sort of heard before or something that brand new, but everybody, brings something a little different, which is always cool. I mean, we had Bigfoot guys, we had UFO, we had, obviously paranormal, inspirational speeches. And so things like that, it's nice to kind of get a wide variety of the things that are out there, and makes us think about things too, whether you've never thought of something that they said, or you just never, even considered it. So there's a lot of great things. And I always encourage people that if you ever can get to one, whether it's closer to where you live, or if it's or if you're willing to take some time and make a travel to like ours or some of the other ones that are around. And I know next year there's a lot of events that are going to try to, get back into shape again. So there should be a lot more events popping up. So you'll have your pick. Hello, Amanda. And you'll have your pick as to, whatever's more, affordable for you. And hey, good morning, Jen. And that's the coolest thing about it, so a lot of people are going to, I've gotten the rumors. Obviously I can't say which ones are, going to pop back up because they haven't officially announced it, but kind of helps when you got the inside scoop sometimes. But yeah, there's a few other events that are going to come back next year, so it'll be neat to see them, doing their thing, and presenting their Parafest or Paracons, depending on what they like to call it. But it's going to be really, really cool. So, and but yeah, I'm trying to think other highlights. This, and one thing we did differently this year, because we kind of had to, even, still obviously there's pandemic's not over, but we uh had to, still kind of keep, a little bit of a social distancing thing, which was really cool because we did set up a lot more tables than than in the past. Which actually worked out because it did spread people out. It was weird, because you see all these gaps. 'Cause, if everybody moved forward and was in the seats, then it wouldn't be, so it'd look a little bit more full. But with all the extra tables that we put out there, it really was kind of cool because there was a lot of, whether they were families or where they were just friends, some of them would take a whole table over, which was great to see. And, but yeah, it was kind of cool to really have a good turnout. And, of course, we want to see, what the numbers tell us in the end. So I can't wait to hear how we did because, obviously, these things cost money and there's a lot of uh, things that are paid, prior to, the ticket sales and things. So you obviously need to recover it for one, and then hopefully you make a little extra so that way you could put it into the next year's event. So, hey, good morning, Heather. Heather was another one that was there. It was great to see Heather. It's been a couple years. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it was super cool, but because of the distancing issues, we couldn't do a traditional ghost hunt like we do, and we have the speakers and the guests, kind of break into groups, and then we kind of go off in all the areas around the mill. But we can't be doing the typical 15 to 20 some people per group and then running all over the place. It just wouldn't have been safe, and we wanted to make sure that we were. So we kind of took the initiative of what we've seen other groups do and just kind of throw basically a VIP party. And you it was just a couple bucks more, and you got to hang out. We had music, we had some karaoke, they had cornhole games, and then just snacks and food and drinks. And so it was kind of cool because a lot more, when you're in the middle of an event, it's really hard to talk, especially like for like us that are working and things. You talk a little bit, a few minutes, a couple minutes or so, but you never really get to talk and just like spend more than a minute or two. Even like the day before when we set up, you don't really get into long conversations, so you never get a chance to hang out with everybody. And at least with the party, there was that. Obviously I spent some time talking to people that I knew, and it was just it was really cool. So I mean, it gives us some hope, that since a lot of people have commented, and Heather's just saying she liked the party, you know, we may consider it again. I mean, obviously, like I said, we got to see how the numbers were, and we got to hope that we did okay, or if we did take a hit, hopefully it wasn't too bad, you know, um, and it was just minor, and maybe we can put throw a couple more extra ghost stunts in there to kind of put that back in there. Hey, Carrie, and so we'll see what happens. Obviously, we won't know. We'll get some numbers hopefully soon, and then what'll happen is I think it's usually in February. I think it is that the board typically gets together and vote on a lot of the larger events that are hopefully allowed to go forward. So there's a lot of different times that the old mill is a part of local events in the whole village of Dundee. So we obviously will throw the old mill Parafest in there for November of next year. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that that'll work out. And um if we do, we I've already started coming up with some ideas. I've got some couple neat things floating around up there, and I haven't told really anybody that, but I have at least I've told Tim, who's the one that does a lot of the backbone for the event with all the websites and the sending money to the speakers and things like that. And he, I've just told him briefly. I said, hey, I got a couple ideas. I know what the artwork should be for next year if we can have it. And then I have another extra thing that would be kind of fun. And I'm not even going to hint at what it is, but I think I have something that would be kind of neat and, maybe stand out a little bit, but it'll definitely be different. It won't be something that I've never seen it. I've never heard of it. Doesn't mean it's I've never heard of it. Doesn't mean it's never has happened. I just haven't heard of it, but I think it would be unique to the event because of the artwork that I'm thinking. And no, Dad, it is not going to be Krampus. Nope, it's going to be something completely different. So, like I said, we get the nod for 9, then we'll start moving on some things. But like I said, I had a couple things I think it would be kind of neat, and even then, just make it really exciting and make you guys have to show up because if it all works out, you'll you might like it. But then again, there's a little bit more planning on my part, but that's okay. That's okay. Um, so uh, let me a little sip here. Um, one thing that was interesting, and I'm not gonna obviously dive hard into it because like I said, we've talked a lot about it in the past and stuff, but I wanted to. And by the way, if everybody in the chat room would be so kind as to wish my father Patrick there a happy birthday. His birthday was yesterday. But if you could say happy birthday to him, I'm sure that'll make him smile. So, so say happy birthday to my dad. And uh, one thing that I wanted to incorporate, like I said, I didn't want to, dive in it because I know sometimes it could be, it's like, oh, he's going to talk about that again or something. But uh, you guys know that the upgrade that I'm still going through, it's still ongoing, it's still happening, and what what's interesting about it is that, so like I said, I wanted to. That's why I'm kind of going out of order, but the previous Thursday, so before, hey Nancy, and the Thursday, leading up until the Parafest weekend, hey Rachel, and what was interesting is, so Thursday, I, didn't, I was home, because we had our, where I work, I had a, observed Veterans Day. So I got to be off work as it was a holiday. And so I was helping out. The kids still had to do school things and stuff. So I was, doing my part, since I'm home and dropping off and picking up, that sort of thing. And I remember, I remember I was coming back from one of them. I can't remember if I was picking one of them up or dropping one of them off. I think it was in the afternoon when I was picking somebody up. And what was neat was, well, I don't know. It depends on how your definition of neat is. I say neat because I always try to look for the positive side of things. But the so in one of the drives, I started having symptoms for the upgrade. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird because I noticed that I felt a couple weird spots in my shoulder that started, you could feel the electricity, which was one of the symptoms that I would notice that I'm having, or I'm in the middle of a session. And not only did I feel certain parts of my shoulder, and it's not the pulsing like, when your muscle, tweaks and flexes, it's not that way. Goes deeper in the inside because you feel like, like you're getting electrocuted, just not painfully. And not only did I feel it there, but then literally seconds later, then I started having the same things down in my hand and a couple of the fingers. I could just feel the electricity running through it again, like you're being, electrocuted. And I'm like, man, we're doing this now. I'm sitting there driving. This doesn't seem safe to me. Normally I've always been home, for a session. And so I'm like, you're doing this now? I mean, okay. I mean, we got to do what we got to do. But of course it didn't, affect driving or anything like that. But it was really interesting. And so I'm thinking, okay, I was trying to hold off because the weekend before that was mid-Michigan. And so I didn't want any sessions because I wanted to wait until I got through them before I did something because I knew what typically happens after a session. So I, so everything was okay. I didn't really have any other, post, upgrade symptoms. But Friday, I was uh, on my way to the old mill for setup in the afternoon, almost like 24 hours later. Well, sure enough, now it was starting on the right arm. Same thing, having these weird internal electrocution feelings. And I could really feel it going through, different parts of my hand and fingers. And this one wasn't so much in the shoulder, it was down like to the bicep and forearm area. I'm like, oh, geez, this is really not, this is going to be interesting. But I kept my mouth shut. I didn't tell anybody about it because I'm like, maybe it won't be so bad. I'm just going to be cool, going to be positive. You gave me a session 2 days in a row. I'm just going to be cool with it. And I get it that it's been 2 weeks, but at the same time, you know, so setup was okay. Even though I was a little worried about my hands, I thought, with the session and thinks maybe I would, have a problem, and no big deal. I did okay with the setup because there was, some lifting and things. So Saturday, comes in, we're doing the event. We're probably about the third speaker in, so it's, getting closer to about noon time frame. There goes an angel feather. Just saw an angel feather. There you go, Jen. You got ones that you can't see with your own eyes except through a camera. There you go. Whoop, whoop. Oh, come here. She is not going to let me get her. Oop, did I get it? Whoa. Well, just like in the last time this happened, not so much on the show, I was upstairs and the same thing just happened. I catch the feather, and when I go to look for it, it's completely gone. I can't find it anywhere. So, in tradition, that's typically what happens for me recently. They disappear because I'm not allowed to, you know, hold on to it. Never, not that I ever do. I never keep them, but that one disappeared right out of my hand. So, okay, love that stuff. Sorry for the pause, but I really wanted to show you, but apparently I wasn't allowed to show everybody. I was supposed to see it. So, message to me. um, but so like I said, it was about noontime, and I started feeling the weird, odd, and it's not you get so when I say this, like I said before in the past when I described some of the post symptoms, I have these weird hot flashes, but it's not the hot flashes that we all have had, where it's like you're getting like a flu or something of that sorts. And it's not that, you feel the heat and then, you're super freezing, that it's not like that. It's a weird, it feels like it, but it's not. So I'm feeling warm and I'm like, I keep checking myself. So, you ever see me in public and I'm kind of doing this, not wiping sweat, but if I'm feeling stuff like this, I'm trying to see what's going on. Like, am I really okay? Even though I kind of know already what's going on, but I just like to double check myself. It's the investigator side, Hey, Jeff. So I, constantly am feeling my head. I'm like, nope, I'm normal temperature. I'm like, okay, so I know it's not that. And then I'm like, oh man, now I'm really this is gonna be interesting because normally I can still function, I can still act, but it's just things are a lot different. Well, you know, that happened for a good, at least a good hour or so. And then it started uh, I just started feeling a little bit tired more, and but yet I still gotta get up there. I still gotta introduce people and things. And so I'm like, oh man. But it lasted until we got to the party, which, like I said, sometimes they could be, for a few hours, sometimes they can go a whole day, sometimes they can go almost a whole week. Luckily it wasn't like that intense because yeah, by the time we got to the party and it was gone. So I mean, typical fashion, you just never know. But yeah, exactly, Dad. I wish it was that because then it would be easy to call it. But like I said, it's just so weird when you have the feelings afterwards. So that was interesting that it tied in because I was always nervous that something like that would happen right now because I don't want to go down. I don't want to sit there and have to excuse myself or to go get some air, that sort of thing. But it is what it is, and so I got through it. But it was kind of weird to have that happening in front of everybody. Not that anybody noticed because I sure hit it, but that's normally what I do. I'm not going to sit there and oh gosh, I'm falling apart. Even though I sometimes feel like that, but anyway, so that was an interesting moment that led up until Saturday. So despite the event, going great, and then that going, I'm like, man, anything else want to stack in there on top of this stuff? So I know she's not watching, but the cup you guys keep seeing was a gift from one of my clients who does usually watch the show. Sometimes she's still kind of sleeping and might make it in here, but she got me a gift and when she brought it to the Parafest. And so it's a depiction of Odin and his ravens Hugin and Munin. And so that was kind of cool and nice of her to do that. So I thought I would have a cup of coffee for the show while I was talking about the event. So Carrie, yeah, yeah, we could talk about that offline for sure because I got a couple other things I would definitely add to that. um, but because that goes with our conversation the weekend before. So, and yeah, I do like the mug. I mean, it's kind of cool. So, it's got a stainless steel, bottom and things like that. But yeah, it works out pretty cool. Oh, there's Margaret. See, there she is. She is watching. So thank you, Margaret. There it is. And she also got me a necklace and she had some candy for my kids and a bracelet for my wife and things. So it was really nice of her to to give that stuff because she was doing it, for like my birthday that's next month and or in a few weeks, really. But yeah. So okay. So I did that. Okay, where we got? Where we got? Oh, okay. I got. Thanks, Margaret. um So how many of you, and some of you, if you caught it, hopefully I know not everybody did. So if you missed it, if you guys saw my post, I did a few of them, but if you saw my post from Thursday evening, uh, I just wanted to highlight that real quickly because it was super cool. Yep. Yeah, Jennifer. Jennifer makes a point. Been heart palpitations, ear ringing lately, well being upgraded right now. Yeah. Because of we had the eclipse Friday morning. It's been a pretty stacked week. So yeah, but so if anybody didn't see the post, maybe after the show, yes, Dinah. If you didn't see it, go back and find the ones where I posted 3 photos and I explained what's going on in the photos. So just to kind of highlight it real quickly was that I was sitting in my living room and I was because I got home from work, changed, got situated. And the cool thing was I had, I'm on vacation right now from my day job. So I was like, oh yeah, I don't have to like prep for the next day for work or anything. I could just hang out. And there's a few people I was messaging because I couldn't get back to them, while I was on the drive. And so I'm a couple messages and I just hear a voice and know and just a feeling of it. All I heard was look up, and I look up, and out because the way my couch is, but the way the recliner part of the couch is, it faces the windows perfectly. And that's been cloudy, for the better part of a day. And when I looked out there, I mean, you know, as clear as day, there's this complete circle to where you can see all the way to the blue skies, above the clouds, but you could see perfectly through it. And even then some sun was, radiating through that opening. And instantly I knew what that meant. So they wouldn't have told me to look up for no reason. So obviously, it was an eye. I was being observed, and you know those are the moments that, and I put it in my post, is that some people always wonder, what's it like to, you know, when will I get messages? When will I see the messages? And that's that's as clear as day. I mean, literally, it was an eye-opening experience. Sorry, that was a bad pun. But it was so moving and so beautiful. I mean, just the feeling of seeing that, knowing that, you're being looked after, and the again, the my heart, was definitely like feeling it. And the as I stared at it, I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I gotta try to capture this because this is like what I, try to tell everybody. You know, you're not, the signs aren't always going to be, in your face type of thing. You have to look around. You have to be more aware of your surroundings because you just don't know what those messages are. And they're not going to be, like, again, super flashy and things. But for me, you're doing this for a while and hey, they're like, hey, you might want to look up. I'm like, what do you mean? And I look up and then there's this eye staring at me and it's like, oh my gosh, that's it, and so I take some photos of it. And the hard part is because that sun's going through it, you can't see how perfectly round it is, but with through your normal eye, you could, but I still wanted to capture it. And then I one of the friends, I think it might have been Jen. I think I was telling her about it real quickly. And, of course, I keep doing this thing. I'm looking up, because I'm standing by the window now. And as soon as I look up after one time after I sent the photo, I looked up again, and then you guys see the last two photos. One was zoomed in, and then the other one was just pulled back, or zoomed out. That it was winking. I mean, you know, yes, we could get into the technicality that clouds are going to open and move and they swirl, and we could all go into that. I get that, but given the feelings that I got off of it, the way I could feel that, again, that love. And so, hey, what's up, Ronnie? Have a good one, buddy. And to then see it close, and then, which I didn't take another one, it opened back up again. That's pretty hard with clouds, especially if they're moving like that. You can't just go from, being around per, circle to squinting, for a wink and then open back up again. You just You're starting to get into a pretty tough thing, especially with the winds and things that were happening. And so it really was a moving thing. And then, as I, took those last photos, I sit back down because, at that point, the clouds were, starting to, move, past me and things like that. And so, it was truly gone. But then the emotions start to come through, because then you really know, you know what's going on, you feel it. And, you know, it was instant that I'm like, I gotta share this. There's just, to show everybody that you just have to look and you will see it. Good morning, Jen. And you, it is so, just so, so thankful. So, and that, I'm thanking everybody, for giving me that sign, letting them see me. And it just, it did, it really did. It did, brought a couple tears, to the eyes, because it just is so moving. And I loved it. And I live for that, and like I said, I don't need, I don't always need to have those messages, because I know they're always there. I can, always sense them. I can call, ask them, to give me signs. But now once in a while, it's nice to kind of that they'll do it, anyway, and just kind of give me that reassurance. And um, it was a cool moment. And then hopefully you guys enjoyed that, even, you know, probably want the same thing. You want to see things like that too, but you just have to be, don't hardcore, like, like, you want to be positive about it, but at the same time, it's like, don't be concerned if it doesn't happen right away. You might take time, and it might not be like that, you know? So you just have to just be relaxed and just say, hey, if you ever gonna show me a sign, I will definitely be looking out for it, and that's the best you can do. And when they know you're ready, then they will give you those signs. So it was a really cool moment. So I really appreciated it. And it was just, again, you know, it's it's why we do this stuff. I mean, it just to see those messages, and it kind of, it knocks down a lot of the stuff that we see all the negativity. We all know that stuff, and we're trying to get away from them, being submerged, where we're submerged with all of that happening, and to see signs like that. And and you got a lot of people that don't believe in the stuff, and that's fine too, but they've just never given it a chance. If you think that, oh, I want a message right now, and if you don't give it to me, it's not real. Well, that's because you're not in the right frame of mind. You have, the attitude is horrible. you know it's the same thing that when you get, super skeptical people that, take some of us mediums and try to put us on the spot. It's like, well, who's with me? Who's behind me? What's my grandmother's name and stuff like that. It's like, well, one, your attitude sucks. So why would I want to waste my time on you when that's not how it works. I tell people a lot that, and most of you know that, if you really want something, you ask for it, but you can't demand it. It's not, it's just not how it works. You're just not coming from the right frame of mind, and you're really just kind of being negative about it, and what good is that? But like everything in life, we have to go out there, and we have to, uh anything you guys want, you have to throw that intention out there, and to not put the right frame of mind forward. I mean, what do you expect? And again, I'm not going to sit there and waste my time on people that are being mean or negative or demanding. I mean, you know, sure, you've had people that, that want this and that. I mean, I get it. we're humans too. but, but it doesn't always work that way, and I I've learned a lot, since I've gotten into this field and learned so much from so many, and still learning. And you just do the best you can, and not let a lot of it get to you, because I do have a lot of I don't care attitudes for a lot of stuff, because then it doesn't bother me, and that's a good thing. It seems weird, but that's the way you're supposed to be. I mean, if we truly cared about everything, that's why we have issues and things. When we put too much into stuff, it gets overwhelming, and we've all been there. I mean, who hasn't been overwhelmed or stressed out and things? But to not but you have to put a limit on how much you are going to allow. And so, like, if you're around a lot of negative people, you could fight it off for a long time, but if you don't get a break and get some of that off of you, and again, that could be a lot of different things, uh, reading a book, going out into nature, to get all that stuff off you. But eventually it is going to get on you, and then it's going to bring you down. It's going to weigh you down. And, and that's when you start having, in a way, mental issues. Sometimes they even turn physical, to where you know, um, things internally just start breaking down, because you're just submerged in a thing of filth in a way, you know. And I laugh because it's true, and when I do cleanses for people, and you are stripping off, and I always say it's like a black tar. At least that's how my spiritual eyes see it when I'm working with somebody. You can see where it's heavy or caked on, and you just got to clean that off, just like you would if you're going in the shower, and you somehow you were rolling in the mud, which is not a bad thing to do. But if you're rolling around the mud, and in the yard, you got to wash that all off. So you're rinsing it off. You got to scrape it off. You got to wash it off. Soap. That's the same thing with cleanses, but you got to do it in a spiritual standpoint. So it's important to not allow let that stuff get on you for way too long. And so, again, getting out to nature, and seeing people like myself, and that can help take some of that off, then that works out really well. And pretty much everybody feels the difference, but again, you have to, back to what I said, a little while ago, you got to want it. If you want to get better, you want to feel better, you have to take that first step. There's nothing I can do, any of us can do, to force you into something. I can't say, well, I know this great healer, and they help everybody out. But if you don't feel it, or well, I'm just, you guys know my favorite bad word, well, I'll just give it a try. Yeah, we all know how try works, right? You don't get too far. Try is, like I said, a bad word, even though I do still say it sometimes, but but I know what I really meant. But uh, so you know, so that's a cool thing. Anyway, so that was the whole thing about the photo and stuff like that. And I was kind of curious, and um, my friend Jennifer Past Event, mentioned it a little earlier, what she's kind of going through. But I'm curious, did anybody notice or have any issues when you were waking up Friday morning, or technically, Thursday night, if you really want to call it that way too? But anybody, I was kind of curious before I say specifically. Jeff, that's my favorite. That is exactly, I love that so much. I love that so much. That is my favorite. I say that a lot, though. Do or do not. There is no try. Um, but if anybody, noticed anything Friday morning yesterday, obviously, I'm kind of curious. I don't want to say anything specifically, but if you noticed anything, when you were sleeping, or uh, maybe as you got up into the morning, I was just kind of curious, because some people have very similar things. Some have a little variation. Some have something completely different. But it's kind of interesting, because I saw one person post about it, and it really like, well, that's kind of interesting. I said, makes sense. So, and Margaret saying, I was very tired on Friday, just couldn't get motivated to do anything. Okay. All right. That's, because of the eclipse, and, the whole thing of opening up new opportunities for yourself and so forth, that's much like what Jennifer said earlier, was that, you we're all kind of going through upgrades that are open to these things. So Dinah saying exhausted, lots of dreams throughout the night. Ooh, I like that. Well, I like it just because that's pretty interesting. There you go. Okay, Dan. Yep, that would make sense. Yep. I'll just wait just another few seconds because I'm just kind of curious if anybody else did. You don't have to comment. It's just again, it's kind of nice to see what you guys are saying in the chat. Oh, cool, Jamie. Awesome. Yep. That's not bad. I like that. Okay, Nancy. Right up. Okay. Shannon had full of energy Thursday, did not get much sleep, had vertigo. Okay, I like that. Well, I sorry if I say like and I'm not being hilarious over it. It just that I because you'll see where I'm going to go with this. Um, and then Margaret, I had lots of strange dreams for that. Okay. All right. So that's a pretty good list. And if there's more of you that feel like commenting, please do. Yes. One thing that was very fascinating was the fact that dreams, if anybody had dreams, maybe Thursday, but more importantly, like going into Thursday, but like Thursday night into Friday morning, so many people had dreams. I've seen comments all over the place in various groups. So many people were talking about that. I didn't really have dreams, but I did have one other thing that happened, which goes kind of, in the same, area. It was interesting is between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. It would be interesting to see if anybody else will be like, oh no, that happened to me too. Did anybody notice that they woke up during those 3 hours? And obviously it would be different, depending on where you're at in the world, but at least Eastern Standard Time between 2 and 5 a.m. I did. I woke up a couple times during that little span between 2 and 5 a.m. And it's interesting because that was typically when the eclipse was happening during that time frame. Not obviously for three, straight hours, but that's when it was going on. So that was super interesting. You know what I mean? Let's see. Okay, so Nicole's talking about she remembers some dreams. Shannon, yep. And I went outside to see if I could see the eclipse. It was too I know it was cloudy here. Yeah, Rachel. Yep. Okay, Rachel. She told me stuff in private about what she was experiencing. Yep, around 1 a.m. Dinah several times. Yep, Tanya. I and again, see a lot of us and so many of you that are commenting, and even my father, we are, susceptible to the changes. I mean, maybe not everybody is, fully, into astrological events and things, but sometimes it's kind of, for the people like I know my dad's not, sitting there looking up astrology events all the time. I mean, unless he hears it, on like my show or he sees it and, posted in some on other people's pages, but it's not like he's a big follower of it. But for him to even have a few little things like not being able to function so well yesterday, you know, that just goes to show you that there is something to it. Like I said, I'm terrible with, I try to keep track of it, but again, I rely on so many of you to help me out. But it is amazing that when you go through something like that, a major event, how it affects everybody a little differently, or we have similar things. It's really interesting to see what you guys are saying and what I went through. Like I said, I mean, I woke up several times. I didn't really have the dreams. I did, and I think it was I forget who said it. I also had a ton of energy, and was pretty happy. Uh, most of the morning. I did have a little moment where I dipped a little bit, but that was because of something else that was going on. But I got back, after that. But it was really fascinating, and so we all were experiencing it. We were all feeling it, and again, that's just the things that most people forget about. You're not paying attention to things like that. I mean, people would just wake up and be like, oh, I'm just tired. Well, maybe I was up too late, or maybe I had a rough day the day before. So you trying to put some logical mind and thoughts to it. And so, it is what it is. And what are you going to do? But when you see that it fell in line with something like the eclipse, whew, you kind of have to throw that in there and say, maybe there's a possibility to that, but Let's see. I was just finished. Margaret saying she was awake for a good chunk of that time frame. Believe it or not, the battery in my smoke alarm died and alert. Oh, geez. Well, that's a sign. That's a sign at 2 a.m. Hello. Not a good sign. Everybody hates when a fire alarm battery dies or is about to die. That chirping thing that goes on. You run in. I've had that in the middle of the night. You run around the house trying to figure out where it goes because it doesn't chirp, like quit, a lot. You have to like hear it and then you have to like walk like, a few feet. even though, even though we only got like one fire alarm. So why am I running around the house? But you keep thinking like maybe it's like a cell phone or something else or some kid toy or something. So, but God, I hate when they get into it. Tried to do it to where I would, change them every 6 months and just be done with it. So it'll never ever happen. So, um, yeah, Margaret, I bet, yeah, dogs don't like that one. They don't like the fire alarm going dead. But so, but if and if you guys are, and to finish up the eclipse part, if you're still going through things, if you can, take it easy a little bit. Don't obviously overdo anything, but you know, you should be starting to feel that turn already by now, with it being Saturday, and obviously every day will be a little bit better. But if you still need to take a little bit of a breather or relax, I mean, it is the weekend, so I mean, unless you got other things planned, by all means. I mean, I still have more things going on today, and um, so I know. Luckily, I'm okay to get moving, so I'll be doing my thing, but Margaret, 110-pound German Shepherd laying on your legs is no 100 pounds at all. I mean, hey, 100 pounds on you. Hey, get off. So, hey, Cindy. So, doing great on time. This will be perfect because this will be the best way to finish off and get to 10:30. So for a lot of you that are hung in there and might have saw the other post that I did, I wanted to give you guys, anybody that either watches it live or plays it back or hears the audio podcast type version, uh, you wanted to give you guys a sneak peek at some things that are going to be happening because, like I said, I'm on vacation from my day job, and I it's always been on my mind. I've talked about it. It's been a while since I've talked about it, and I've been wanting to sort of get back into it. And uh, now's the perfect time. I just feel that push. I feel the desire for it. And in fact, at Parafest last week, obviously Christopher St. Booth was there, and him and I had some chances to sit and talk. And it wasn't always work related, or event based. Well, we got to talk a lot, and he said some wonderful things to me, and um, gave me some little motivational and tips and things. And so, part of that was some thoughts that were already bouncing around in my head, but it was just kind of cool to have him do some encouraging, and so because I wasn't even 100% sure what I was going to do last weekend, but this week kind of helped bring it out because I got to think more on it. And but like I said, things that he said, really made sense. And things that, were always there. It was just not the uh, you know, it it's just, because I've always had so many other things going on. It was always like I'm trying to focus, you know, a little bit. Hang on a second, Jay. Um, so I'll get back to you, Jay, in a little bit. Hold on. Um, but yeah, I was so here's the what's going to be going on. Uh, I'm going to be doing some more videos, and not saying live videos. Well, you never know. I might throw that in there, but I wanted to get some more recorded videos. There's an app that I'm a part of, but I've yet to post anything on there, and so I want to start posting on this app. And I'll explain what the app is. So if you guys are interested in downloading it, that'll be awesome. And the other thing is trying to get back and doing some more YouTube videos again. Might not be on a consistent basis, but I'd like to throw some things in there. Some goals that I'm thinking, not only on the app that I'm going to be doing, but the the YouTube is, do some messages, not messages in, me giving you messages. What I'm saying is uh, like sort of like guided, sessions. Um, maybe I'll do like a cleanse, for a few minutes, which is also the same what's going to be on the app. And then I want to do, some flute, music for you guys, whether it's one song or whether it's, maybe a couple of them. And so the idea is hopefully tomorrow, as long as the weather is not too bad, but if not, I'll still make it work. I'll just figure out a different solution. But I want to try to do filming on Sunday and Monday, obviously between my parental duties, because I will, tomorrow's not so bad, even though I got to be home, by a certain time tomorrow, but Monday still want to, drop off and pick up some kids, and I want to, take some of that opportunity in between all that to shoot, as many as I can. I'd like to stack up a lot, especially for the app. Again, I'll mention that in just a moment. But the app, I wanted to get at least a good 3 or 4 of them, in there already, and that way, it's not just gonna be like you're waiting. You see one, and then you're gonna have to wait, some days or whatever. But that's the whole point is to I want to get a bunch in there right away, so that way people start getting an idea and not just having to wait, in between. And then again, I want to then, so that'll be mostly cell phone footage because that's the way, you got to do it into the app. And then I want to shoot with my other camera that I used to do for, some of the videos I did in the past, get some other stuff recorded and other positive messages and things of that sort, and just kind of have them out there, a little bit more. So yeah, I want to do a little bit more, get back to some videos and things. And being on vacation is definitely give me a bigger opportunity to jump on that, because a lot of times when I did my videos on YouTube before, it was all weather based, because I wanted to be out in nature, because that's where I belong. That's where I love to be, being more of a shamanic modern shaman. You just need to be a part of it, because I get to feel it when I'm talking about things. And having nature even then be able to still boost, whether you're watching it back, years from now, that energy's still there. So it's not just me, but Earth Mother. So that's a kind of a cool thing. So I want to do some of those and get them mixed in. Like I said, nothing completely consistent, but more so what'll be fun is the app. And the app is called Divine Ray. And they're basically, it's like a TikTok. I mean, that's the best way to put it. The unique thing about it is it's a lot of metaphysical, holistic, um, healers and all that, all the stuff. It's just for that. It's not a comedy site, it's meant for healing and hearing from other people like myself that are going to, provide information or give you the opportunity to take sessions that are recorded. And the neat thing about uh, for me is that there's an opportunity to where I can, make a few extra bucks, which, obviously I would, doesn't hurt to have a couple extra bucks in your pocket, but I can then have it to where, some videos are free and then some are monetized. And again, it's a good opportunity for us that maybe can't always do a lot, but can then have those videos in there for those that want to, you know, I don't remember. I don't know all the complete logistics on it because it's been a while. I mean, I have it. I have my profile set, but I just haven't really done any videos. But again, it's gonna give me some more opportunities, expand myself, who I am, what I can do, and again, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to throw those videos in there. And again, it's like a TikTok, but even then people could go and you pay with coins. I know they say that it's a coin thing, but that equates to like, money that you actually purchase the coins to then see sessions. And there's so many, other amazing people that are on there. There's some that I know really well that are doing it. And like Jennifer Passavant, if she's still around, she's in there. I mean, she's going to be doing some more videos herself. And Kathleen Sherman, Bonnie's in there, David Starr's in there. So some of these people you might have heard me talk about before or have had on the show, but they're in there. And then there's so many more. And so that's the cool thing is it's really a site just dedicated for spiritual things. And I think it's going to be fun. I've been dying to try to get in there a little bit more, but I just kept getting pulled around, and so I just want to stop with the getting diverted and really focus on especially that app too, but still do some other videos, so that way if you don't want to download it, that's okay, but you'll still see other things that are going to be like on the YouTube site. So again, Divine Ray. So if that's something you guys are interested in grabbing, um, you know, go for it. Because like I said, there's going to be so many things that so many are providing, and like I said, there'll be free stuff, and then there's obviously stuff that you pay a little bit for, and again, certain sessions, certain things you're looking for. That's the cool thing about it. Hey, and I'm excited to do that. And like I said, I've been really wanting to, and I can see the worth that it's going to be for me and to help me out, get me out there a little bit more, and keep pushing. Because like I said, when I get out of this upgrade, I really want to take off and start doing a lot more things. And I think the healing aspect will definitely fall in line with the app. I'll be doing a lot more healing. And again, I want to do some flute stuff on there as well, for some sessions. I want to do some guided meditations on there, so that, there's a good variety of things that I will offer, and, help anybody that's interested. And again, you know, it's totally up to you if you guys want to get it, but hopefully you will. And you can maybe see, what others are doing. And if something, again, you see some other healers and things that call to you, support them. Like I said, you can create an account. But it doesn't cost you to create an account, just like TikTok, but then to support us and things. So hey, Donna, and that's super cool. And like I said, I'm excited for that. And then I've already got a little bit of a list of things I want to do, and get that going. And the big one will be my intro. So that's one that I can do either inside or outside. I want to do it outside, but you know I heard there's like some possible rain and things like that, but where I want to go could get pretty muddy. So I don't want to be like trudging through mud and stuff like that if it is rain, if there's rain tomorrow or not. So um if not, I'll do the intro inside, and then I'll just come up with some other neat little things for it. But we'll see. We'll see. So hopefully you guys are going to be checking that out. And like I said, Divine Ray is the app, and definitely you'll find me. You just add them to Black Swamp Medium. I'll be over there, and you can already start following me, and then you'll start seeing the videos pop up. And like again, if you're familiar with TikTok, it's pretty much right in the same line, except it's all spiritual things. So other than that, like I said, I want to focus on that, get that in there, and then we'll go do some videos for YouTube. Same sort of thing. I want to do some fun things out in nature, even with it being colder. Obviously, I'll be limited on some of the flute playing stuff, but I do want to get a few in before it gets too cold, because obviously my fingers aren't going to last as long. But I can get away with a few songs in 40 some degree weather, but we start getting below freezing, it starts to hurt a little. But which is normal, and I have done that. I have played in 40 some degree weather before. It's not too difficult, but it does it stings by the end. So but still it's worth it. But yeah, so cool. Other than that, uh obviously, to finish up, before we get out of here, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody here in North America. I know everybody will hopefully be seeing family and friends and having a good time. And uh you know I because of Thanksgiving, I want to make sure that you guys understand that I'm definitely thankful for all of you. I say it a lot. I'll never stop saying it, is that it's your support, whether you've gotten some type of session from me, or just one that likes to check the shows out and hang out. I really appreciate that stuff. And oh, thanks, Jennifer. Happy Thanksgiving. Matt, happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate it. You have a great weekend. Sharon, happy Thanksgiving. But again, it's all of you. I love being able to share some things, share some knowledge. And this is, I love doing this, and I think it's great that we can kind of gather this early in the morning. And even better, I get to see how many people are awake at this point. you know, I I can look up and I can see how many people are watching, and I look up there, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people awake right now. So it is really satisfying to know that you guys are willing to wake up early and check this out. And again, you could always, if you're watching this back later on, I appreciate that too. It does, um it's again, I just want to do what I can and share what I can, and provide some things, and if it connects with you, that's awesome. So again, I am forever grateful to all of you, and thank you for being with me and understanding and knowing that I'm always, I'm not always at my best, when it comes to, especially like with the upgrade. It's taken me down, and I've been able to literally put everything on pause. And but it's great that you guys aren't yelling and screaming at me for that, because I know others that do. When they have to take a break, they get hammered. And it's sad to see that people just don't understand what we go through, and not appreciate the fact that we need some time to ourselves. We're not a robot. Um so I appreciate that you guys have been really awesome and understanding. And so again, thank you. I saw a bunch of more. Dad, I will see you later today for your birthday party dinner. Heather, happy Thanksgiving. Nancy, happy Thanksgiving. Oh, cool. Okay. Congrats on that, Nancy. Nicole, happy Thanksgiving. I know it's not your South Africa. So, but even then, I'm thankful for you. Jennifer, I hope you're feeling well and better. Love and light to you, healing. And again, happy Thanksgiving to you all. So I am going to get out of here. I got some things to do, and prep for tomorrow as well. Dinah, happy Thanksgiving. Tanya, happy Thanksgiving. Stacy, happy Thanksgiving. Matt, yep. And yes, thank you. And with that said, you guys have been watching Adam the Black Swamp Medium on the mid-morning medium chat. I will see you guys again soon. Look for all the posts and maybe some pictures, the next couple days. We'll see. Maybe I'll show you some more shots of where I'm at. We'll see. So again, thank you so much for being there. Happy Thanksgiving. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Take care. Oh, and I should say, I almost forgot, because it's been a while. It's been a couple weeks. All my love, light, and peace to each and every single one of you.